It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Next on Madden NFL 24.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we've got an AFC matchup in store for you, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Returning it, Justice Hill. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Justice Hill. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Ravens. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out, a third-round pick in 2018. He's made a handful of starts across his 5 previous seasons. Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit, because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade, and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
Rudolph. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 28 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
First carry for Najee Harris. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Rudolph looking to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Rudolph's throwing into the hands of Pickens. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up. It is down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Great effort there. 74 yards. And the Ravens take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. So the problem's really starting to add up now. I mean, they try the field goal in an effort to get a little bit closer, but the block and return make the situation worse.
I like what you just said there. Just trying to get a little bit closer. I think mentally, that's why they were doing it, because really the 3 wasn't going to do them a whole lot of good, but they feel better about themselves now. They feel exponentially worse.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. And that one complete downfield to Johnson. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 50 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Rudolph. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on third down, here's Rudolph. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
This taken in at the goal line.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Ravens. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Rudolph from his goal line here, and that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half, and now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Taking on the midfield logo. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Over the middle, connecting with Kohler. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Jackson now. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
On the return from his end zone, Godwin Igwebuike.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's Rudolph. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
3rd and 19.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board, or should I say in today's game, the Surface tablet after this drive. 3 plays, they go backwards. They look like they've gotten something going right there, but they'll have to punt the football away to end this one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Taken from his own 47. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Got his target, that's Kohler. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Let's take it inside his own 40. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown.
Isaiah Likely.
51 yards.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the third quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in. Already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the second half. Tucker now to add the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, Let's just say it's been unusual.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Rudolph. And this is going to be incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. Able to push his way through. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Play action. Now Jackson. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Charlie Kohler, 46 yards. And the Ravens have got it on cruise control.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And Najee going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get this to the 23-yard line.
They run again with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taken in at the 48. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is.
Touchdown!
Isaiah Likely.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Ravens add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Igwebuike to return it from his end zone here. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the 21-yard line.
Rudolph looking to throw.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Rudolph now to throw.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And the Steeler first down.
Now it's Rudolph. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Rudolph going to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
The Ravens ready to take over. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
There he goes left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Third and long, it's Rudolph.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Igwebuike to return it from his end zone here. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Here's Rudolph. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Rudolph looking to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So to be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.